welcome everyone to our first panel discussion. Again, I'm Cassandra St. Preux. I'm very excited to have this conversation today on AI and the future of hiring. We have two extraordinary leaders here today. Iris Drayton-Spahn, Managing Director at Stanton Chase in DC, who brings deep expertise in executive search and DEI strategy. She's been recognized among Mogul's top 100 DEI leaders and was awarded the President's Award by the DC Black MBA Association this past October. And Dr. Dee Chisholm, Global Senior Compliance Manager at Microsoft and founder of She Geeks Principal LLC. Dr. Chisholm created the Wanda Ethical AI Framework, emphasizing well-being, accountability, neutrality, diversity, and adaptability in the use of AI. So this panel is going to give us a chance to dive deeper into how AI is reshaping talent acquisition and what leadership looks like in this moment. And I feel like we're having this conversation at a perfect time. We all know about the current headlines and the discussion about over 300,000 Black women leaving the workforce, whether by exiting on their own accord or being forced out. There's a lot of discussion and debate about the circumstances around that. And I think it's an interesting discussion because, of course, they love to talk about us. So, we want to hear from our own words. Do you guys have your own opinions about how would you describe what's going on and maybe just how we should be thinking about this current conversation?
So I'll go first in terms of opinion and also experience. So I am a past global compliance manager with Microsoft because I am one of the 300,000 women that was laid off randomly. And so for me, my experience is very, it's deep for me. So imagine being the face of the ERG group. Imagine being the only Black person in your organization. I'm burnt out, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm working, and then to get that, oh, by the way, your position is being eliminated. It's not. You just don't want me, right? And so it's one of those things where I had to sit with that, and shout out to my think partner, Ursula, who's in the front in the green. I had to lean on her and I say, girl, what's happening here? And then when I'm going through those conversations, and what really happened is what I want to share, what that experience feels like. So I'm heads down. Imagine I'm heads down, I'm working, top performer, just literally just received Employee of the Month in January and February, laid off in May. It was insane. So we have the conversation. I'm on the call with my manager. Here comes this random face, like, oh yeah, this is such and such, and we're just here to let you know that your last day is Friday. I'm so sorry to hear about this. And it was weird for me because I'm like, I just got Employee of the Month. Like I just met the metric. I just submitted the report, and it's just very blanket. It's very sad. It's just, I'm sorry. Thank you for your service, right? So it's one of those things where I had to sit with that. I had to process that. I'm still processing that because it's only August. I'm trying to understand, okay, who am I, right? And a lot of my identity was tied to Microsoft. I mean, it's the brand, right? So it's like, oh, I'm a Microsoft girl, but So when it's stripped away from you, I really had to sit with my partner and say, okay, take away the titles and the signs, like, who am I? Who's Dee? Right? I know I'm that girl. So I had to sit down, I had to sit back, and I had to realize, like, no, I am somebody. I've always had my own business, which is something I'll share. So once Microsoft pulled the plug, it did not pull the plug because I'm still eating. Let's be very clear. But I think we have to make sure that you protect yourself in those moments to make sure you are good, because a lot of us feel like we're safe underneath these large organizations, and you are not. So you always need to get your bag. You always need to save your money. You always need to be thinking ahead, which is what I did, and so I'm still good. So that will be my experience.
You done woke me up. I think for me, it's such an interesting conversation that we're having today, and I've talked to so many people. I invite all kind of people I know to this event, and they're here. Thank you so much for my tribe. It comes every time I send that email out and invite y'all everywhere. 4 years ago, I left WETA TV. I was head of HR and their very first chief diversity officer, and I think a few people have already talked about that pull you get. And I know the Lord was telling me something, like Celie in The Color Purple, it's time for you to do something different. And it was pulling me, and I was like, where are you pulling me to? What is it you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? Because I had a wonderful job, paying great money, and we've heard about that too, just living a life, doing all that, but I walked away from it to go to executive search because I knew God had something bigger in store for me. And he wanted me to be in a place where I could help people that look like me and all other types of diversity people be seen, be heard, be hired. And the clients I get to work with, I get clients, I pick clients, I work with them, I reach out. And that was one of the best decisions I think I ever made in my career. And one of my former colleagues who worked with me at the station's here today too, and you know I got you, Kira, you know I got you. And it's just important when you feel that pull and you know something that's going on inside of you and you act on it and you move forward with it, and I have not turned back. And let me tell you, my husband, that was the one. Because I had to look at my husband and go, yeah, I'm leaving this big job at the TV station to go work for this firm on commission, but I know it's something bigger than me, and it's something I'm supposed to be doing, and to be in a place, in a space after 20 years in HR and DEI work, to be in a place where I'm seen at my firm. I get to look like me all the time. I get to be me. I never have to put on airs. I never have to, code switch and all that kind of stuff. I came out of birth like this. This is me. And I get to do that every single day, and I get to help people be in roles they never thought they could be in, and be that advocate and be that person that stands firm with my client. And I tell them all, I'm going to bring you a diverse slate. And if I'm not the kind of person you want to work with at a firm, maybe there's another firm you need to work with. So I stick to that, and I live by that. And Kira knows I just showed her what I wrote on my card was purpose. It is me, it drives me, it's what I do, it's what I think, it's what I live, and it's that purpose. And I think it's just important for us to never forget what our purpose is and living mine. And you're living yours. You're living your purpose now. Don't forget that, okay? Because it's bigger and better things in store for you, okay?
Yes, I love that. It sounds like it's important to follow your instinct, but also have something up your sleeve and ready to use it at any time. So let's talk on the candidate experience. As AI tools are used to filter resumes and screen talent, individuality can get lost. So Iris, what should candidates focus on or emphasize in order to stand out authentically?
Whew. The first thing I tell people is you are you, no one else is like you. Don't try to be like nobody else. Don't try to have something on your resume that somebody else has. What is your gift? What is it that you are great at? And let me tell you, that's big on your resume too about Microsoft. I'm just telling you. But what is that unique thing about you? And that's what you emphasize. That is what you really want to bring out as your strength. When I'm working with candidates, for roles I'm filling with some of my clients, I always talk to them about, is this the job you want to be in, or is you just trying to get a job? Because if you're just trying to get a job, I don't want to work with you, because I'll let you work with someone else or talk to someone who can be like a career coach with you. But when you're going after these C-suite, executive level roles, which is mostly what I do, I want to make sure this is where you want to be and you want to contribute, because it's not just what they're looking for, but where you want to be, and be very clear about what you want to do next and where you want to be. But your resume should reflect you. And I've seen it a lot. I'm like, I'll ask people, talk to me about what this is. I've never seen this before on a resume. So if you can't explain it to me, how are you going to explain it to someone else? So just make sure you're staying true to you, your experience, your expertise, highlighting that expertise, and staying true to what that great thing is that you can do. You have to emphasize that. Anybody working with you for any role you want to get, if you can't explain to them something on your resume, you're lying. You didn't do it. You let AI do it. And I was in HR 20 years. I know a fake resume when I see it. But I'm going to ask you those deep questions. And I'm asking you before you get into an interview with somebody who's going to ask you that doesn't look like me, and who's going to try to belittle you or make you small. So make sure you're highlighting those things that you are great at, that you know how to do, your certifications, your education, your volunteer work, boards, whatever that is. Make sure it's true. Because I can assure you, people are going to ask you. They're going to ask you about that.
Thank you. So I think we we all know by now that even the most sophisticated AI tools can reflect the biases that exist at large. We've had those discussions about their limitations. Even though they're so advanced, they have a lot of limitations. Dr. D, drawing on your work with ethical frameworks, what bias have you seen appear in AI hiring tools, and how can organizations counteract that?
That's a good question. So what I've seen, and actually what I've actually experienced myself, is that these tools learn over time, right? And if you don't have those bias mitigation strategies in place, it's going to perpetuate the discrimination that I'm actually experiencing now, right? So I'm actually a part of the whole Workday discrimination thing. That's a real thing, and I tested it, and it does work. So if you want to try it and test it, feel free to apply to a job. If you are over 40, you are a Black woman, 9 times out of 10, if it's a Workday platform, your resume is automatically going to be screened out. And I haven't seen, and it was weird because I was like, no, that can't be right. I was like, because everybody uses Workday. No, this can't be. I tested it, and I literally had like maybe 16 applications that came, and they're immediate. Sometimes it's 2 seconds, sometimes it's 24 hours. And so I've seen that. I've also seen, especially if I'm working with like other researchers. So let me kind of rewind and tell you guys like what my passion